In our scriptures, there is a wonderful idea which I think comes in Mahabharata. There it is said that when a young, beautiful woman in the prime of her youth, decked with most expensive ornaments, she is putting on most expensive ornaments, and she walks in the middle of the night, in the midnight, freely in the streets, without being molested or without being troubled by anyone. Such a state is the most ideal state of a society. What a beautiful picture of an ideal state of human society, where a young, beautiful woman in the prime of her youth, she is fully decked in the most expensive golden ornaments, but she can freely walk even in the middle of the night without any sense of insecurity and fear. That state of the society is the ideal society. So we can, in comparison, understand how low our society has gone down today. And one of the main reasons of this is, now see, this is directly connected with our subject here. Why is this state of affairs existing in our society? It is only because human beings, when they lose their character, when human beings become like animals. There is another beautiful verse which comes in Niti Shatakam, where Bhartrihari, wonderfully he says, Yasya na vidya na tapo na dhanam, na jnanam na guno, na shilam na dharma, te martya loke bhuvibhara bhuta manushya rupena mrgascharanti. It's a beautiful verse where Bhartrihari says that Yesham na vidya, human beings without vidya, just imagine. Yesham na vidya na tapo, there is no tapa. Tapa means what? Tapa is that discipline through which human beings practice self-restraint. Human beings alone can practice self-restraint. A human being who is not trained in self-restraint is not human being at all. Animals don't practice self-restraint. Tapa means restraining one's body, sense organs and mind. So yesham na vidya, people devoid of higher ideals. No vidya, no knowledge, no wisdom. Just day and night only worried about sensory enjoyments. And no tapa, there is no self-restraint, no self-control. Yesham na vidya na tapo na dhanam, and no charity, means always wanting, hoarding. Opposite of charity is greed, only wanting everything for oneself. These are all asuri prakriti, the prakriti of devils or demons. Demons are those who only want for me and me and me and me. So these creatures without higher ideals, no self-restraint, and always greedy and wanting more and more, and yesham na jnanam, they don't have higher knowledge, only they consider themselves to be the body and the indriyas. Na jnanam, na shilam. No, shilam is character. Character. Sanskrita Vyaktitvam. Shilam is good character. Lacking this good character. And na guno. There is no gunas, there is no good qualities. And na dharma. Those who have no sense of what is right and what is wrong. About these people, Bhartrihari says, Te martyaloke bhuvibhara bhuta. These creatures, actually they are creatures, they are not even human beings. These creatures on this planet, Martyaloke, on this planet, they are all bhuvi bhar, they are a burden on this planet. Such creatures, living creatures, they are just burdening this planet. That means that they need to be eliminated. Such creatures they deserve to be eliminated. Te martyaloke bhuvibhara bhuta manushyarupena mrigascharanti, he says. These are all animals moving in human form. So beautiful. So we know animals. Actually, we have no cause of worrying from animals. If I know a tiger, I know tiger. It is recognized as tiger. You can keep away from it. But what do you do about animals in human forms? We can't even recognize them. Outwardly, they have the forms of human being. Inwardly, they are all brutal animals because they are like devils. Outwardly, with human forms, inwardly, they are all Pashu and Pashu alone. These people, they are just burden. These are not people, they are creatures. These creatures, the Shastras say, they are all a burden on this planet. They are burden on this planet means what do you do with burden? You just throw it away. They deserve to be terminated. That is the only one fate of such living creatures. They are not human beings. Te martyaloke bhuvibhara bhuta manushya rupena mrigascharanti. So we have in this society animals moving in human forms. Now, I am raising this issue here only because so many phone calls and WhatsApp messages about what has happened recently in this state. Very painful. The whole country is shaken. And I'm happy to say that whole country is shaken. That shows that people still have a very sensitive conscience. We have not lost that. So what do we do in this situation? This is not the situation to sit and cry and weep. We have to be strong. Everyone has to be strong. This is a fight between dharma and adharma. We should remember. If you go back to the Shastras, you will see this is a fight between dharma and adharma. Such evil forces, they always existed. Even today it is existing, sometime more, sometime less. If you go by Bhagavad Gita's wonderful teaching, Krishna is saying, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati. There are two things constantly happening. Sometimes dharma glani takes place. Sometimes dharma's utthapanam also takes place. This is continuously going on. At a certain period of time, you will find dharma is gone down and adharma is ruling. And sometimes you will find adharma has gone down and dharma is ruling. So that state of affair where dharma rules and adharma goes down, that is an ideal state of affair. So, even in the present situation, we will find, we are seeing that it is the rule of adharma. And in the rule of adharma, what to be done? What is the role of human beings in this situation? Here comes the beautiful philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, the greatest philosophy ever given to the humanity. What is the role of human beings in this situation? It is not the time to weep. This is what exactly Arjun was taught by Krishna. Arjun was weeping. No weeping. This is not a time to shed tears. Krishna scolded Arjuna. Don't behave like a eunuch. Klaibhyam masmagama partha naita tvayi upapadyate shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktva uttashtha parantapa. Stand up on your feet. Don't behave like a eunuch, like a chicken-hearted person. Stand up on your feet and fight the battle. You stand up on the pedestal of dharma and fight adharma. Kauravas, they represent these creatures who are animals in human form. If you look into all the deeds of Duryodhan, Jarasandha, and all of them, Shakuni, and the whole lot of them, the way they killed Abhimanyu, it is just one instance. All kinds of treachery, all kinds of atrocities which they have been committing. This is the force of adharma. It is Pashusvabhava functioning in human form. What to do with it? What are we going to do in such a situation? Follow the philosophy of Krishna. Take the side of dharma, and this is a battle against adharma. That is a simple thing. So even to wage this war against adharma, one has to have strength. Balam, a weak person cannot do. So in all such situations, I am raising this subject because I have been receiving so many WhatsApp messages and even phone calls. I can understand the whole country is shocked. It is so depressing. And overall, there is a depressing mood in the country today because of this horrible incident which has taken place. People are sad and depressed, and which is obvious. But it is not the time to be just depressed. We have to garner strength, and there should be a battle against adharma in every possible way. And for that you need strength. And from where are you going to get strength? Weakness has got no place in this situation. Everybody will have to have strength, even women also. Women especially, they should be strong and fearless, and they have to face the situation bravely and boldly. So the question is, from where are we going to get strength? Balam. That strength comes from Ishvara and Ishvara alone. See, that is the relevance of what we are studying here. The more we are disconnected with our own true nature, you will find that we are weak and we are miserable. Even to face this situation, any such situations, the real strength comes from our closeness and proximity to Ishvara. That is the direct relevance of the study of this great spiritual literature. The more and more we discover our true nature, we will see that what an amount of strength and confidence comes. All the weaknesses goes away. Nayam atma balahinena labhyaha. Upanishad says this Atman is not to be realized by a weak person. And what is that balam? Atmanishtha janita viryahinena, Shankaracharya says. That balam which comes from Atmanishtha, that balam which comes from Ishvara-nishtha. If you have this tremendous Ishvara-nishtha, this Ishvara about whom we are studying here, this chapter is meant to understand the true nature of Ishvara. The more and more we go close to the center of Ishvaratvam, our own Ishvaratvam, you will see what tremendous strength will come out of it. With that strength, we will be able to face such situations. In short, this is not the time to just be depressed and weeping. We have to go back to our own roots and discover our own, that divine center from where tremendous strength and courage will come. And with that, we have to stand on the side of dharma and wage the battle against adharmic forces, against such animals moving in human forms. This is a simple conclusion. This I'm stating because I got so many phone calls and messages, and they're all asking this question, Swamiji, what to do? It is very sad to have such an incident happen, horrible things. But that is what. Now just imagine if a whole state is run by such animals in human forms. What is this fate of that state? That was precisely what was happening in Hastinapur. Hastinapur was being ruled by animals in human form. And we know what happened there. When an entire kingdom is ruled by animals moving in human form, what will be the state of that society? Precisely Mahabharata, if you just see, Hastinapur was being ruled by such adharmic forces. And on the other side, we had the forces of dharma, the Pandavas, who was guided by this amazing teacher. The greatest teacher in the history is Sri Krishna. Absolutely no comparison. About whom Swami Vivekananda says, this is the one teacher who didn't have any cobwebs in his brain. What a wonderful teacher. No talk of niti and aniti. Straight away chop off the head of these evildoers. When Karna was supposed to be killed, his wheel was stuck up in the mud. He was talking about niti. How can you kill me? I am now removing this chariot which is stuck up in the mud. You have to wait. Krishna says, nonsense. Arjun, shoot him down. He was the most practical teacher. When we have to fight evil, there is no question of niti and aniti there. These evildoers, these animals moving in human form, they have to be simply exterminated. This is the philosophy, the most practical philosophy. It's a war against adharma. We should take the stand of dharma and stand against adharma in every form. Mahabharata, these are all wonderful things to guide the humanity. And Krishna was the greatest teacher. No talk of ahimsa and all those things. In such a situation, there is no ahimsa. Let us make this point very clear. Ahimsa is not unconditional. Ahimsa is conditional. It depends upon the situation and the circumstances. In every situation, ahimsa cannot be practiced. Fighting against adharma, ahimsa is perfectly justified. This is what Krishna was teaching Arjuna. Don't talk about ahimsa and all such nonsense. You are facing a group of evil people, and these evil people have to be tackled in their own way. Don't talk about niti and nyaya in front of them. These creatures, this manushya rupena mrigasharanti, these animals in human forms, they just deserve to be exterminated. So in this whole message you will see it's a message of strength, no weakness, no depression. Arjuna went into a state of vishada, depression, and Krishna brings him out of that situation. This is the greatest philosophy of Sri Krishna. No comparison. No other teacher has spoken in this way. The most practical, down-to-earth teacher ever born in history. That was the great Bhagavan Krishna. Anyhow, so coming back to our main subject, this was just needed. This depressing mood, we have to come out of it. We have to garner strength, and that strength can come from our closeness to Ishvara. That is the relevance of studying this subject. More and more we are close to this Ishvaratvam, our own Ishvaratvam, you will see that all this weakness will vanish.